Maxwell says she won't do it. Bring her in then.
You're out of order,
Ms.
Lee. You're out of order.
If you care about equal justice under the law, you need to see this. A congressional hearing just exposed a double standard so blatant that once you notice it, you can't ignore it. Before we get into it, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the Capitol Current, and turn on notifications. This channel exists to hold power accountable, and your support makes that possible.
Thank you, Mr. Ranking Member. I just want us to speak plainly and lay the facts out what's really happened in this committee. We are 1 week out from Bill and Hillary Clinton, who did not show up for their depositions. 1 week, and we're already having a markup to hold them in contempt. Meanwhile, the Department of Justice has been legally obligated to hand over the full unredacted Epstein files to this committee since August, the same exact subpoena that they are using to hold the Clintons in contempt. And please note that these resolutions are allowing the DOJ to prosecute the Clintons for the exact same things that the DOJ itself is violating. They have handed over 1% of the files and heavily redacted. We are 5 months overdue. Mr. Coomer, you've made no effort to bring in Pam Bondi, so no, the difference is not clear. You have made no effort to demand any answers, to exert any pressure. So with that, Mr. Chair, I do have an amendment at the desk which would hold Pam Bondi in contempt for noncompliance with the bipartisan subpoena that you issued on August 5th, 2025. I hope that my colleagues will support. I yield back.
Minority's time's expired. We're still debating the measure, and we'll take up your amendment once we finish debating the initial measure. I just wanted to respond to a couple of things. I agree. We need to hear from Ghislaine Maxwell. We've been trying to get her in for a deposition, and our lawyers have been saying that she's going to plead the 5th, but we have nailed down a date, February 9th, where Ghislaine Maxwell will be deposed by this committee. Now, her lawyers have made it clear that she's going to plead the 5th. I hope she changes her mind because I want to hear from her, just like I want to hear from her.
Then bring her.
What's that?
You said the difference is clear.
Turn on your mic, Trump.
It is.
What would you say?
If the difference is clear, the difference here is that they are also trying to negotiate. She says she doesn't want to do it. You have not moved in the same way. So you are actually not applying the same standard here across the board. The DOJ is in the same exact subpoena. Ghislaine Maxwell says she won't do it. Bring her in then.
You're out of order, Ms. Lee. You're out of order. So we were going to depose Ghislaine Maxwell, February 9th.
Where are the contempt charges, Mr. Chairman?
You're out of order too, Mr. Garcia. And we will proceed with that deposition. Ms. Lee said the Clintons just missed their deadline by a week. We have been negotiating with the Clinton attorneys for 5 months.
Mr. Chairman,
5 months.
Whose time are we speaking on right now?
This is my time. This is my time. I recognize myself, so I have 5 minutes.
You already had your 5 minutes.
All right, well, I'm about finished anyway. I haven't used 5 minutes. I've used about 1 minute. But
you used your full 5 minutes, sir.
no, I haven't used the 5 minutes, Mr. Garcia.
This exchange centers on contempt of Congress, but not in the way most headlines are framing it. The committee is moving quickly to hold private individuals in contempt for missing depositions, while at the same time ignoring the Department of Justice's failure to comply with a bipartisan subpoena that's been outstanding for months. Here are the facts. Since August, the Department of Justice has been legally obligated to turn over the full, unredacted Epstein files to Congress. Instead, lawmakers have received roughly 1% of the requested documents heavily redacted and delivered months late. That is not compliant. That is delay. At the same time, the committee is already preparing contempt proceedings against Bill and Hillary Clinton for missing depositions by a single week. Whether you like the Clintons or not is irrelevant. The issue is consistency. The same subpoena authority being used to threaten contempt charges is being ignored when it applies to the federal government itself. One member finally said what many Americans are thinking out loud. How can the Department of Justice prosecute contempt cases while violating the very same standards? If the law applies to citizens but not to institutions, that's not justice. That's a hierarchy. An amendment was introduced to hold the Attorney General in contempt for noncompliance, and suddenly everything slowed down. Procedural objections, delays, members ruled out of order, debate postponed. The contrast couldn't be clearer. Then there's Ghislaine Maxwell. The committee admits they've scheduled her for a deposition, knowing full well her attorneys say she will plead the 5th. Yet there's no urgency to hold her in contempt, no rush. No immediate action. Again, different rules, different treatment. This isn't about left versus right. It's about whether the people enforcing the law are willing to follow it themselves. A system that demands obedience but exempts itself will eventually lose public trust. As a patriot, I believe accountability should never depend on status, office, or political convenience. Subpoenas either matter or they don't. Contempt either applies equally or it becomes a political weapon. If you want more breakdowns like this, like the video, subscribe to the Capitol Current, and share this with someone who still believes accountability matters in America.